Seahawks that are 15-4-1 combined coming into this weekend. Raiders have decided to defer, so Janikowski getting set to send it down to Fozzie Whitaker, as well as Joe Webb, who's also back in the end zone. The Raiders coming off the Monday night win down in Mexico City against Houston to go to 8-2 on the year, and here we go. From Oakland, Alameda Coliseum, we'll bring out Cam Newton and the Carolina Panthers. The MVP of the league a year ago, he had 45 touchdowns, 35 by the air, 10 on the ground. So far this year, 15 touchdowns. His offensive line has a change at center. Khalil is out with a shoulder, so Gradkowski will be snapping it to Cam. Greg Olsen just 4 receptions away from 600 career receptions. Here's Newton. First play is a throw complete again for about 3. This Raiders defense led by Ken Norton Jr. There's Khalil Mack. He is on some recent spree with 7 sacks over the last 5 games. Corey James starts for Perry Riley, who's out with a hamstring. And the secondary includes DJ Hayden out of the University of Houston, in for Amerson, who's going to be inactive because of a knee. Mack ready to pounce here on the 2nd and 7 snap. Jonathan Stewart, the running back, again in motion. The give to Stewart. And he slides it out for a gain of about 5. And Cam Newton's year, how would you define it, Phil, to this point?
Well, he says it all the time, frustrating year, but I define this football team, and especially this Carolina offense, in the fact that they've not run the football the same way they did last year. And when you don't run the football well, it puts you in a lot of tough situations. And Cam Newton said it. The strain on this football team has been put on us because of our inability to run the football consistently.
It's a 3rd and 3 for Carolina. And Newton with pressure, influencing that throw in the direction of Ginn. And the Raiders take him off the field after 3 snaps, and the Raiders still have not allowed the opponent to drive for an opening possession score. One of only 2 teams in the league to do that, along with Pittsburgh.
Really constant what you see when you watch Cam Newton throw. Always people around him. The pocket gets pushed back. Hard to make accurate throws when there's defensive linemen all around you.
Michael Pilardi played in his first NFL game just last week. Here he is. First-year player out of Tennessee, and that bounces right in front of Richard, who then steps away from it. And we've got a couple of flags on the field as the ball is down at the 26 after a 42-yard boot.
During the kick, holding, receiving team, number 32. 10-yard penalty from the end of the kick. Oakland keeps the ball. First down.
Jerome Boger and his crew on hand here. Let's meet the Raiders offense led by Derek Carr, an MVP candidate. 5-to-1 touchdown to pick ratio this 4-game win streak, 8-to-1. His line includes the free agent signee in the offseason, Osemele, coming by way of the Ravens, and Cooper with a 100-yard game today in receptions, would reach 1,000 on the season. We're actually going to begin with 6 linemen here, the Raiders. And the first snap of the game is a running play to Murray, and Latavius is decked down at about the 17 by Thomas Davis. Sean McDermott's defense has forced 4 opening drive takeaways. That's the best in the league. Short, the one short, one of those up front. And there's A.J. Klein, as Tracy reported, in for Luke Kuechly, inactive today. And Kurt Coleman, the senior leader of that secondary that has rookies on the corners, Worley and Bradbury. So Roberts comes in as a 3rd wideout for the 2nd and 8 play. And it's thrown over to Murray, trying to sidestep Trey Boston. And he'll come up a couple yards short of the first. Jack Del Rio in his 2nd year. He was actually back in 2002 for 1 season He was the defensive coordinator at Carolina.
Well, Jack Del Rio taking a few chances this year, or gambles as we would say, but he goes, you got to do whatever gives your team the best chance to win. They won those games, and it's given them tremendous confidence in the coaching staff. And you can see that confidence when you watch this offense especially play.
This offense is going to go 5 wide and empty on 3rd and 2. Carr picks up the first down. Got it over to Amari Cooper.
A lot of keys to this game today. One of them to the outside. Amari Cooper, that time going against Daryl Worley, a rookie. 2 rookie corners for the Carolina Panthers. They're worried about that. And also the Raiders. They love that matchup. Amari Cooper, Michael Crabtree against 2 rookie corners. The advantage goes to the Raiders.
See, Andre Holmes has come in as an extra wide out.
What's up?
As they give it to Richard. And Richard, quite a fine rookie out of Southern Miss. It's a gain of 3. It's welcome home time for Ron Rivera. Raised just 102 miles south of here, down in the Seaside, California area. His family lives up in Marina, California, the neighboring town to Seaside, where he started high school.
Well, he's hoping for a magical run like they had 2 years ago when they were, 3-8-1. They finished a year out where they made it to the playoffs.
Yep.
Got a tough schedule, and the biggest thing, Jim, like a lot of NFL teams, it's a year of near misses for the Carolina Panthers.
Yep, just 2014, 2 years ago. They came back from that, won the division. There's the second down throw, and it's complete to Michael Rivera. Very tight coverage there, but pick up about 5.
Well, a couple of things you're seeing here early from this Raiders offense. Spreading the defense out. That's what they want to do to get those matchups. We've seen more and more of it as the year has gone along, especially getting Jalen Richard, the running back, Jameis Olawale, the other running back, the tight end, singling them up, and most of all, try to get these 2 wide receivers one-on-one against 2 rookie corners.
You mentioned Olawale. That's the fullback going in motion on this 3rd and 3 play, and Carr is going to, try to line and then try to run till a ball comes out of his hands. They'll mark it a couple yards short of the first. Klein came over to force Carr to the ground. Ball came out, but it was out of bounds.
Well, empty backfield. There's no extra protection. Derek Carr, like a lot of quarterbacks in the NFL, when you see that open gap, especially on 3rd and what you consider short, tried to run and get that first down. Something you see him doing more this year than maybe his first 2 years. Moving around to throw the football and scramble to pick up first down.
Marquette King. He boots it high, demanding a fair catch by Ginn at the 10. Well done by King, who's having a big year. Had only 3 touchbacks on the season. That was a 47-yard beauty, pinning the Panthers at the 10. Panthers a year ago were the top scoring team in the league, averaging over 31 points a game. They're down 7 points a game on that average this year. Middle of the pack in the league. Second series begins at the 11 with play action. And Cam going long. And again is shielded off of that pass. That was DJ Hayden on the coverage.
DJ Hayden in there today, taking the place of David Amerson, former first-round pick from, I forgot what school he went to. That's right.
The great
Houston.
University of Houston.
Oh, somebody else. Did you graduate from there too?
I did.
All right. But look, he's having a good year. He's the nickelback. He's come through, a former first-round draft pick, coming over some terrific injury he had in college.
Got an honorary doctorate too, so you should be referring to me as Dr. Jim.
There you go. Okay.
2nd and 10. And they'll give it to Stewart. And he's short of the 15-yard line. Pick up a 3.
Just to talk about this Carolina team, you saw the pass. They throw the football deep down the field. They put a lot of strain on their offensive line, but not running the football has been the big key. And Jim, you and I, every week, we do games. And the number one problem, if your team's not doing what you want it to do and they're not winning, what's it come down to? The offensive line.
And you got an honorary doctorate this year from Morehead State?
That was last year.
Last year.
Yes.
Oh.
But thank you. Yes.
Dr. Phil.
That title was taken.
The real one. 3rd and 7. Benjamin with one-on-one coverage with Smith on him, and the pass, what a catch. That is Greg Olsen. And the throw was right there too, where no one could possibly defend it. Malcolm Smith was on coverage.
Dragged his feet. Awesome. I was watching Greg Olsen run on the field before the game. Still trying to figure out after all these years why the Chicago Bears traded him. But he's a good blocker, but he is an unbelievable down-the-field tight end. As good as there is in the NFL. Right up there with Ron Gronkowski when it comes to making big plays.
And traded to the Panthers the same year they drafted Newton with the 1st overall pick, as Stewart is brought down right away by Mack after a couple. Here you go, the offense, and again, everything translates back, as you say, to the offensive line. The lack of production and the rushing numbers are anemic compared to last year. Stewart, their leading rusher, averages only 3.3 yards per carry. They've already given it away as many times as they did all of last season. 12 of the 19 giveaways, in fact, coming in the 4th quarter.
Well, when you don't control the line of scrimmage, you're put in situations you don't like. That'll put you in a situation like that. That's why those turnovers have gone up.
2nd and 8. And Cam floats this one, and it should have been intercepted. Sean Smith.
Two things you'll see on this play. Sean Smith against Kelvin Benjamin. That's a terrific matchup that they want today. He's the #1 target for Cam Newton. And Cam Newton once again throwing with people all around him as he lets the football go. Again, just watch Cam Newton as he's throwing the football, gets hit as he lets it go. Been a problem all year long.
3rd and 8. Raiders drop the gift. Now they blitz. It's Tolbert who's open. And Tolbert is stopped a half-yard short as Reggie Nelson came up to make the hit. And out they bring Pilardi for the 2nd time to punt.
Reggie Nelson, part of the makeover in this secondary. Fast, aggressive, can cover. Excellent tackler. We saw that with the Bengals. You see it here with the Raiders.
That's Richard waiting for the return. His only fair caught 2 this year, and he's returned 21. And he's going to return this one. Got a little seam before he's ridden down by McLean at the 38. 42-yard punt, 12-yard run back. And that Raider offense ready to try to kick it in gear on its 2nd drive.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Southwest. Yes to low fares with nothing to hide. That's transparency. Fruit of the Loom. Keep your cool in breathable underwear. And by Toyota. Let's go places.
As you saw some of the sights from Mexico City 6 days ago, it was a Raider home game. And they've actually played 6 games outside of the stadium this year. 5 on the road and the 1 at Mexico City. They're 6-0 in those games. There's a little toss over to Murray. He's got a blocker out in front. 2 blockers out in front. Roberts trying to shield off Bradbury. And a big gainer here to Latavius Murray for 32.
Well, it's a blitz. Thomas Davis, here he comes. And you love to throw screens against the blitzing defense. If you time it right and down the field, Gabe Jackson, Seth Roberts with a big block. Yeah, that's pretty impressive. Gabe Jackson, as big as he is, to run that far down the field. Didn't hit anybody, but he looked good.
Again, play action. His car flings it. Roberts has it. And he stays on his feet down to the 6. He's turned into a very dependable 3rd receiver, including scoring the game winner down at Tampa a few weeks back. Picks up 24.
They got it all on the offensive side. Here he goes across. Quick play action fake. He was looking to throw it short. It was covered. Beautiful touch throw by Derek Carr. And when you talk about Carr, he's got all the throws. He can put steam on it. He has great touch. Excellent long ball thrower. And you saw the touch on that throw to Roberts.
Carr already with 5 completions to 4 different receivers. Brings Cooper closer to the line here on 1st and goal. And they go Murray, and he's decked 4 yards back. As Griffin comes up to make the play along with Wes Horton. NFL fans, order your holiday gifts from NFLshop.com and save up to 25% at the official store of the NFL, NFLshop.com.
Sean McDermott, defensive coordinator for the Carolina Panthers. Pretty evident to see his game plan. They are trying to put pressure on this offense. Seeing quite a few blitzes here in the first quarter in the first 2 drives.
Olawale is the running back. And Carr dumps it off to him. They're down to the 2. They had 199 yards receiving by running backs against the Texans 6 days ago, including the 75-yarder to Jameis that ended up tying the game in the 4th quarter, later to win it on a touchdown throw to Cooper in the 4th.
Well, that's why they're so hard to stop, Jim. Think of the outside receivers, what they got going on there. They can run the football. We saw them against Denver do it with power, and now they've involved their running backs even more in the passing game. You
saw McDermott, the D coordinator. They're number 3 in the league, red zone defense, the Panthers. Trying to make a stop here on 3rd and goal. Empty out the backfield, and Carr goes to the end zone, lofts it, and it is pulled down for the touchdown. Seth Roberts puts the Raiders on the board. Right over Robert McClain, who is down and injured on the play.
Boy, look how far he went up in the air, made it look easy. Both feet in bounds, held the football, touchdown. And you know, really good coverage by McClain, but we see that so often in the league. These defensive backs, you can be right on the receiver, but their ability to go up and get the football, that was kind of a soft back shoulder throw by Derek Carr. Nice adjustment, nice catch by Roberts.
And McClain in agony, and we'll step aside before the PAT. Derek Carr has just thrown his 21st touchdown of the season, and Roberts with his 5th touchdown reception. McClain, they were able to get him up on his feet, and he was able to walk to the sideline. Looked like Roberts landed on his chest.
Yep. What would you say to me during a commercial? Man, this offense has a lot of wrinkles.
Oh, yeah.
They do a lot of little stuff. Tough to pinpoint one thing to try to stop.
Jankowski adds the extra point. Yeah, they marched down the field in only 5 plays, 62 yards. Roberts caught 2 on that series, including the one for the score.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Verizon. It's always a great gift on Verizon. And by Papa John's, official pizza sponsor of the NFL.
Nice gesture by the Raiders offensive line, welcoming families, many military families, to their facility on Tuesday and distributing Thanksgiving turkeys. And the Raiders, you saw the numbers on that drive. Didn't take them long. Whitaker will not run it out. And we'll run out a big lineup of comedies on Monday night. TV's best night of comedy, The Big Bang Theory, Kevin Can Wait, Man with a Plan, and The Odd Couple. Tomorrow, starting at 8, 7 Central on America's #1 network. So Cam Newton has started 3 for 6 for 18 yards. He had a sure interception dropped by Sean Smith, but he has not had a lot of time. He's had pressure on him on almost every throw.
It's the worst thing when the pocket just slowly collapses back at a quarterback. Tough to do. You can't step up. You can't run out. You just got to stand there and throw the football under pressure.
Again, they got hit when he threw it, and it's off the fingertips of Stewart. That was Stacy McGee, and he may have hit him too late.
Personal foul, roughing the passing. Defense, number 92. Tackling the quarterback with full body weight and driving him to the ground.
This is always a point of contention
automatic.
Middle of your
first
screen.
down.
McGee.
I don't know how you pull up on that one.
Well, they're calling this roughing the passer because he falls on top of him and he lifted his arms. They started that rule, I'm going to guess, back in 1995. I can remember it. It's because it was a technique all defensive linemen were using. Grab him where he can't protect himself, pick up your arms and legs and just put all that weight on him.
There's the give to Stewart, and he's got an opening. Look at Stewart go. He's to the 30, to the 20, and finally Hayden able to wrestle him down. 47-yard burst, his longest run of the season.
Kick out that time by Norwell allowed Stewart to get outside. And boy, Stewart, got hurt. Hamstring injury. It's kind of slowed him down this year. That's what they need for this Carolina offense to get this run game going.
It's his longest run of the year by 21 yards, and he gets another carry here. And this time he's only able to fight for one. That breakaway run coming one play after the Raiders' 100th penalty of the season. And that roughing the passer call, and Cam Newton getting hit has been a big sub-story this year for the Carolina Panthers since week 1, their game at Denver.
Well, yeah, we'll talk about it, but the one thing is, yeah, he gets hit a lot. He's a big guy. He can stand in the pocket. He can wait till the last second because of his size and the strength of his arm. So that alone means he's going to get hit more than a lot of other quarterbacks.
He's got Whitaker and Tolbert in the backfield for 2nd and 9. And he goes in the direction of Olsen. That merits a flag. Carl Joseph, the rookie first rounder out of West Virginia, may have been flagged for that one.
Pass interference. Defense, number 42. Spot the 5. Automatic. First down.
Number 88, Olsen.
That ball hit him in the helmet. He wasn't quite turned around in time.
Well, he had his hands on him way too long. No question, that was a foul. Carl Joseph, rookie, West Virginia.
Football at the 3, 1st and goal. Stewart back in after sitting out that last snap. Set it up with the long run. Cam's going to keep it. Cam has an opening, has the edge, and has the end zone.
Well, he made that look easy. Good job that time with the left tackle, Mike Rimmers. Gets outside.
Gives a football away to a Panther fan right in the heart of the black hole section here at Oakland Alameda Coliseum. The 48th career rush touchdown for Cam Newton.
Tolbert, Rimmers, the left tackle, gets outside. Of course, he's playing left tackle. Michael Orr, the original left tackle, he's out for the rest of the year. They moved Mike Rimmers from right tackle to left tackle. Good job on the run block there.
Extra point on the way. Cano adds it to tie it at 7. Cam in the modern era, 48 touchdowns. That's the most by any quarterback ever rushing the football. 3 yards out. He's loving it. Game's tied. Well, the Panthers come right back. 75 yards in only 3 plays. The big one, the burst by Stewart for 47 yards. And the Raiders have allowed a first quarter touchdown for only the 2nd time the entire year. Richard got the 20 with ease and stumbles out across to about the 29.
Well, let's go some next-gen stats. Jim, you talk about all the wrinkles the Raiders have on offense. They love to use extra linemen. 22% of the time, the most in the NFL, where the rest of the league does it only 5% of the time. But what makes it so tough, of course, they run out of it, but they also throw a lot of drop-back passes out of that formation with these extra defensive linemen. Gives Derek Carr a little extra time to throw it. And, of course, all you got to do is look at his numbers and see that he takes advantage of those situations.
And we've already seen that formation a couple of times here in this opening quarter. And that's Murray. with one move to pick up 2 yards. Could have been stopped at the line otherwise. And Tracy, back down to you.
Well, Jim, we saw cornerback Robert McLean go down in pain on that Seth Roberts touchdown. He's on the sideline right now. It is a left calf injury, but I was told he is able to go back in, and you can tell just watching him right now, he is itching to get back out on the field.
Hey, he's watching with great anticipation, wanting to be called on.
Now! Blue 80! Is it?
He's their nickel corner. Here's a 2nd and 8. And Carr flings it. Catch is made. Second one of the quarter by Rivera. That's enough for the first down. Right in front of the rookie taken in the 2nd round out of Samford, Bradbury. They went rookies with draft picks 2nd round and 3rd round. Bradbury and Worley trying to make up for the loss of Josh Norman, signing as a free agent with the Redskins.
Well, we talked to Ron Rivera, the head coach, about these rookies, and he's very happy with their play, very happy with James Bradbury. And Darryl Worley pressed into action because of injuries, and he's held up well too. So, big gamble letting Josh Norman go. Do they miss him? Sure, you miss a good player, but they tried to make the adjustments and done okay.
Carr has hit on his first 8 passes. Did they get a delay a game here?
Timeout, Oakland. They're first.
Timeout was called before that snap, so it was pretty close otherwise. So first time in his career, Carr begins the game going 8 for 8 in this one. This is our first chance of the year for our crew to see the Raiders in person. And a lot of people, it's lost on them that they actually have right now the edge on New England with, of course, a lot of games to go. But you don't think of the Raiders right now as the 1 seed in the AFC. And they're in a great division with the Chiefs and the Broncos playing tonight, just a game behind them.
Tough road ahead. There's no question. Tough game here today, but they still got a lot of division games on the road. But I'll say this about the Raiders. I've watched them a lot this year. They're exciting watch.
Yes, they are.
The defense gives up big plays, but their offense makes a lot of big plays to make up for it.
Oddly enough, 3 of their last 4 games are road games within the division. Turner contained so far in the rushing game, the running game, and that gives him 2. He's got 4 carries for 2 yards, a couple of receptions for 38.
I was going to say, Jim, the one thing about this offense, talking to Bill Musgrave, the offensive coordinator, during the offseason, he said, we had a great offseason. We cut our offense down about 30%, which is a lot in NFL, the way they talk about how many plays they have. And he said, since we cut it down, we've become much more efficient. We know what we're going to do, and we just keep practicing the same thing over and over.
Tywan Jones comes out of the backfield in motion, and he catches it here. Gets past the first defender. Oh, what a move to get past the second one for the first down. Just his 3rd catch of the season, and he moved around McLean, remember, injured, but back out there on this play, picks up 15.
Well, the formation put him outside, everybody covered down the field, and they're going to make you tackle somebody like Jones out one-on-one on the outside of the field. Tough job. McLean could not get it done. But that's the whole part of spreading the field more. So when guys catch it, if you make the first guy miss, you can pick up some big yards.
6 different Raider with a reception in this opening quarter, which is down to the final 20 seconds.
What's up?
Brady down to the Panthers side of the field again, and incomplete off the fingertips of Crabtree, who is not one of the 6 to have a catch here in the first quarter.
Well, that was a run formation. Menelik Watson, the big extra offensive lineman, was in there. And Eric Crabtree, easy for me to say, but you got to remember, they can't hit you while you're reaching out to catch the football. But the throw was a little too far in front, but he was thinking too, here comes a defensive back right at me.
So the first incompletion of the afternoon for Carr. 9 for 10. And 2nd and 10 from the 44. It's Cooper so good after the catch. Boston, though, doesn't let him get any running room. Just a 7-yard pickup to close out the first quarter, tied at 7. Panthers and Raiders. You're watching the NFL on CBS. Second quarter about to begin. The Raiders at 8-2 already with one more win than they had last season, and with a victory today they would have their first winning season guaranteed since their Super Bowl season back in 2002. 3rd and 3, and they pick up the first. Murray's best run to this point picks up 6, and they'll move the chains.
Well, they do a lot of stuff on offense that makes you sit back and react instead of attack. Always fake the run, the reverse, then a quick screen to Murray, and he picks up big yards after the catch. Then let's put a guy in motion. We get 3 one-on-ones to the left side, and watch this move by Roberts. Tough on McClain. Gets the touchdown from Derek Carr.
You see in the first quarter, the Raiders with 116 yards in the air.
Blue 80! What's up?
First down. Give to Murray, and he's set back again for another loss. We have 1 4-yard loss.
Well, stay in the middle. You got all those extra offensive linemen in there. He breaks it outside where he has no help.
Lost 3 this time. Luke Kuechly again inactive today, going through the protocol, the 6th Panther to go through the concussion protocol. They've had more than any other team in the league go through the concussion protocol, and he's going to be, possibly cleared. They don't know, but he's out here for this West Coast trip where they'll stay out west before they play at Seattle next week. 2nd and 13. Oakland at the 10, and down to the 3-yard line is Johnny Holton, the rookie free agent out of Cincinnati.
Well, they spread the offense out. So what do? Everybody is going to go down the field vertically. So Derek Carr just drops back and looks at the safeties, decides who to throw to. He's got 2 guys attacking the safety. No matter what he does, he's going to be wrong. So very tough spot for Kurt Coleman to be in.
Holton, a childhood friend of Amari Cooper, and did not play high school football. He was observed playing flag football in a park by a junior college coach who said, come play for us, and he did. Eventually went to Cincinnati and made this roster as a free agent. There's Carr calling the timeout. Again, he was fighting the play clock.
Yep. Well, big plays down the field. You got to remember that clock starts really quick, so you got to get up there, hustle, get the call. But
this Raiders season at 8-2, their best start since 2001. A 4-game winning streak, last accomplished back in 2002. Again, the last year they had a winning season. That was the year they went to the Super Bowl, ran into Tampa.
Well, I'll go down to this. As you look at all those great things they're doing this year, so there's a lot of things to point to. But mainly you got to point to what? The quarterback and the offensive line. That's the biggest reason why they're 8-2. And this offensive line, when you look at it, Jim, Gabe Jackson, the right guard, is the only guy they drafted. The rest, free agents they brought in here, great job. And the last and most important, did you see that throw by Derek Carr?
Yeah.
When he wants to put the mustard on it, he can do it.
Their total offense, you saw that graphic, the most since 1968, back when Darryl LaMonica was the quarterback for this franchise. Here is the first and goal snap. And it's Murray. Murray, beautiful move to the end zone. Touchdown, Oakland. Set up by the 30-yard throw to Holton.
Well, everybody gets the block that time. Clyde Walford, the tight end, stays with his man. Donald Penn, huge left tackle, able to control. Murray walks in.
9th touchdown of the season on the ground for Latavius Murray. Extra point makes it 14-7. The 9 touchdowns by Murray. That's the most by a Raider on the ground since 2005. Carr leads him down the field again. Latavius Murray with a beautiful cut to the end zone. And the Raiders have had 2 substantial drives here in the first half, producing touchdowns. Kowski lines it up, boots it down to the 1 to Whitaker. They're converging on him. They're going to get him near the 10. It's Holton who had that 30-yard catch, who was able to swing him down. And again, Cam Newton, since week 1, he's been taking a lot of hits. He got hit 17 times in that Denver game, including 4 helmet-to-helmet hits.
Well, that's the one that really upset everybody. The Calais Campbell low hit that was not called even a penalty during the game.
And that's the one from today where they did call.
They did call.
Roughing the passer call on McGee.
But let me just say this real quick about it. His style of play, hangs in the pocket, big, he can. They throw it down the field, which I said, so he's going to take a lot of hits. He prides himself by staying in the pocket. But to think that the officials are going, well, Cam's a big guy, he can take it. Hey, if they see the foul, they're going to call it.
1st and 10. And Stewart off the right side into the arms of McGee. And give him 4 with that one.
Talk about this Raiders defense. You heard it, Jim. Jack Del Rio. He said the offense has made it look easy in 2 of their 3 drives today. They make it look easy, fun to watch, but the defense has got to step up. They make too many mental errors, give up big plays, and to be a championship team, they got to straighten that out. Or to think that you're going to go deep into the playoffs, this defense has definitely got to tighten up.
Look at the Raiders figure that one out for no gain. And nothing there on the option for Newton.
Yeah, everybody's ready for it. Guys on the outside. It's been run so much. They've seen Cam Newton run it. A lot of teams try it. Raiders big up front. Hard to move their defensive linemen around sometimes, with a quarterback like Cam Newton can run up in there and get some yards.
Taking this snap, backed up into the most raucous part of this stadium. A 3rd and 6. And he is hit by Bruce Irvin, who had a similar sack, similar style against Osweiler on Monday night in Mexico City.
Around the top, again, the initial protection is okay. Cam Newton, 1, 2, you got to let it go. It took too long. Rimmers could not hold Irvin out that long. Olsen was coming open across the middle, just too deep.
The Raiders' 16th sack of the season. They last in the league in that category. 4th of the year for Irvin. Short boot at the 45. Richard takes it across midfield, and the Raiders will be set up in plus territory after that 45-yard boot, 10-yard return. Irvin and the Raiders defense pouncing on the Panthers that time.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by PayPal. A better way to pay is here. PayPal is new money. Nissan. Innovation that excites. And by Macy's.
Quite a place to visit, the Chabot Space and Science Center in Oakland.
What's up?
As now the Raiders find a little space here on a 1st down snap, and look out. And there's a flag out for that one. As Roberts was the receiver in the area. Coleman and Bradbury in the secondary trying to defend it, and a flag here.
Pass interference. Defense, number 24. Spinal foul. Automatic 1st down.
No, Bradbury, the culprit on that one.
Well, Roberts going to do a little double move. He sees what happened is he saw Carr go outside the pocket. That's what caused Bradbury to hit him.
Yeah, that shove with the ball on the way. It's an 11-yard penalty, and now Oakland.
One thing I love about Derek Carr, yeah, he can stand in the pocket, make all the throws. When you give him an opening or pressure him, he can run and make it happen.
Good throw over to Crabtree.
And they are a great screen team, as we've seen so far in this game.
Cooper, his fellow wideout, threw a nice block for him.
They won the game on this play last week. Cooper gets the block. except Cooper was the one catching the football running down the field, but that time they blocked for Crabtree, and that's a good play call. Get at the Crabtree, get him going, get his confidence, and make him part of this offense.
Well, he's been quiet the last 2 weeks, Bill. He had a 3-catch game against the Texans for only 5 yards and just 2 catches, minimal yardage the week before that.
A lot of guys in his team fighting for the football, I'll say that.
8th different player to make a catch here in the first quarter as Richard trying to hold on to that football as the Panthers reached in trying to strip it. He's down to the 24.
Well, how about Jalen Richard? You see him coming in, surprise of this football team. Made the team on a 3-day tryout. Not even invited to be.
They made the camp.
The camp, yeah.
It made the right to go to camp. The odds are impossible.
I'd say about less than 1% to make, even to get to training camp when you're one of those guys brought in for those, where they bring in the draft picks, free agents. They bring in some other guys so they can practice against them.
Then his first NFL touch against the Saints went 75 yards for a touchdown. From the red zone, Carr takes the short throw. Cooper. He is stopped immediately by Worley. And let's go back down to the sideline. Tracy.
Well, you guys were talking about Jalen Richard not being invited to camp, having to try out. Well, he said he's surprised even himself with what he's been able to do. He said he always had the confidence in himself, but now and the opportunities he's getting and how he's been able to produce week in and week out amongst these NFL running backs, he says he's just in awe each week.
That's great. Not many people say that, but they're surprised at what they're doing. They always say, I knew I could do it.
Sidearm throw to Crabtree. And that wiggle gets past 3, 4 defenders. Down to the 5. This roster put together. You saw him for a brief moment there, Reggie McKenzie. Also bringing over Crabtree as a free agent from the 49ers. He picks up 10 here.
Well, you worry about throws down the field when you play this Raiders offense, but once again, another screen to the outside, and they're going to continue to do this if the defense is going to play back and give them the opportunity for these easy throws. And you talked about it. Hey, wide receivers block for each other. Good job by Roberts getting the block down the field.
And Carr is 14 out of 15. Has a 1st and goal to go with the 6 offensive linemen. We showed you on our next gen stats. Here is Murray.
Put it outside. There's some. You talk about these offensive linemen of the Raiders, who are. Al Davis would be proud of the size of this offensive line because he liked big players, but they're going against a really big defensive front. No question when you talk about the Carolina Panthers with K'Wan Short, Star Lotulelei. They are big. Tough to run up inside, but that time Murray, trust it. Stay in there.
2nd and goal. Crabtree to the right. Cooper at the top. Now flushed out of the pocket, thrown off his back foot, and out of bounds. In the area of Clive Walford.
Yeah, really good job. About the 3rd time today we've seen Derek Carr. Man, if he initially doesn't like it, he doesn't try to extend it too far where you just get in trouble. Get rid of the football. Don't take the negative play, but probably the most important thing is don't take a hit. Big down here for the Carolina Panthers.
And the Raiders, 3 out of 4 conversions on 3rd down, 3rd and goal. They go empty. Carr to the end zone, tapped away, but a flag is down in the offensive backfield. Cooper was the receiver. Worley knocked it away. That's a hold call.
Offense, number 77. That penalty is declined. 4th down.
On Watson, which will bring out Janikowski.
Watson against Charles Johnson outside.
It's actually on Howard. Austin Howard.
Sorry, that's what I meant to say. Austin Howard against Charles Johnson.
So Janikowski, 18 out of 24 on the season. Makes the chip shot. his 199th career field goal in this stadium. 10-point lead for Oakland. The Raiders have scored on their last 3 possessions, this time a 23-yard field goal by Sebastian Janikowski. Looking at David Carr, Derek Carr there. How many times?
You got to think of it, don't you?
Every time.
Oh, I felt good. At least when I talked to him a couple days ago, I never said, "Hey, Dave, what do you think about this?" But really fun to talk to. Very motivated.
Trying to beat back-to-back weeks the first 2 teams that his brother played for in the league.
How about
the
that?
Houston Texans, then briefly the Carolina Panthers.
Revenge is a great thing.
Well, speaking of that, little SEC championship on CBS, Alabama and Florida next Saturday at 4 o'clock Eastern time. All get started at 3 o'clock with college football special, college football today behind it. And then Vern and Gary and Allie and the crew will bring you Alabama, Florida. Florida has a quarterback. There's a little interest on that Oakland sideline all about.
Yeah, that's right. Luke Del Rio. He's going to hopefully be the backup next week. Has a hurt shoulder, so he's missed a few games. His father, Jack, of course, got a chance to go out and watch him play a couple times this year.
Including the Georgia game. His first down snap for Cam. He's going to launch it again and again. For a moment. And then Hayden helped break it up.
Just got to catch it clean. Really good job by Cam Newton hanging in the pocket. Ted Ginn, bottom of your screen. DJ Hayden. And man, when you think Ted Ginn's going long, you better turn and run. Throw.
He had to wait for it a little bit.
He had to wait, but should have got both hands on it. Could have caught it. Ted Ginn's going to drop a few, but it's worth it because he can get behind the defense a couple times a game.
Carolina wide receivers 1 catch so far for 3 yards. That was by Ginn, first snap of the game. Not another catch by a wideout since, including Kelvin Benjamin. He's been shut out. Timeout called by Carolina.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by the new film Sing, in theaters this Christmas. And by Bud Light, beer with your team on it.
Rookie Darius Latham limped off the field on that last play. The long pass that was broken up, intended for Ginn. Now out of a Panthers timeout, 2nd and 10. Carolina down 10. They're on him. Newton scrambling and gets it away. Just in time, Malcolm Smith almost dragging him down from behind. Mack was in the area first looking for a sack.
A lot of pressure on Cam Newton today. On the outside, then Malcolm Smith will chase him down. Oh boy, he was ready in case Cam Newton came his way to scramble. You know, one thing I'd love to see Cam Newton do more is when it's not open, pull it down, move around the pocket and throw it down the field, but nowhere to move so far today.
He's got a 3rd and 10. Got a new center again today. Gino Gradkowski with Khalil inactive. And that pass, a little miscommunication with Ginn. Hayden almost was able to get there in time.
Yeah, Ted Ginn slipped. But once again, it's a deep down the field looking pass. So all the pressure is to beat the man and for Cam Newton to stand there and make the throw. Tough to ask when you're talking about an offensive line that's been moved around and beat up.
Wardy. Spiral punt. Freezes Richard for a moment. Now he's ready to take off. Richard. Good job of tackling that time as he was dragged down by Michael Griffin. Just a 7-yard run back. And right back out come the Raiders offense. The Raiders having the last 3 times they've had the football, they've gone touchdown, touchdown, field goal.
A lot of strain on the Carolina defense, right? No doubt about that. And, you know, it all comes back to this. Cam Newton said it right. You know, we got to take the strain off our football team by controlling the tempo. which we saw them do last year. They'd get on the field in March. All the run game would keep them in good situations, keep their defense off the field, keep them fresh. Not the case. That's why they're 4-6 this year.
The middle they go. And just a couple for Murray. Get the CBS Sports app for inside access to breaking news and expert analysis of your favorite team. Everything you need, just download the CBS Sports app today. So Murray with 9 rushes for 12 yards. One of them a touchdown. 2nd and 8. Richard replaces him in the lineup. And he gets the call. Look at that cut. A lot of hard work there just to pick up 2. And let's pick up the report from the sideline. Tracy.
Jim, you guys were talking about Raiders rookie defensive tackle Darius Latham, who came up hobbling on that last drive. He went straight to the locker room. It is an ankle injury. His return is questionable.
He's another one of those finds for the Raiders. Undrafted out of Indiana.
Yep, came out early. Got a lot of big defensive linemen, a couple good pass rushers in Urban and Mack. Big 3rd down again for defensive Carolina.
And they make a stop, 3rd and 6. Connor's pass wide of the mark, looking for Crabtree. So a short series this time for Oakland.
Yep, little pressure on Derek Carr, and he did the right thing. Really was careful with the throw, threw it outside and low where it was only going to be a terrific catch by Crabtree and no chance for an interception.
Marquette King has had a 50-yard punt in every game this year, at least one. He's had 23 punts overall that have gone 50+. Took the year to keep that streak going, but it's off the side of the foot. And it goes harmlessly out of bounds inside the 25. 39-yard punt that time.
Well, we talked about Cam Newton, his passing offense, just how long he holds the football. Most of the plays designed to go deep down the field, and the pressure is going to get there. When he got sacked, he was looking to throw about a 20-yard in cut to Olsen. So, you know, as a quarterback, Jim, you'd like some easy completions. I know they run the ball a lot. That's what they do. He runs it. Screens, short passes, crossers. They just don't do much of that.
Well, he's thrown for 18 yards so far. He gives it to Whitaker on the toss. I think he's got a blocker out there in front. It's Norwell. We'll check the flag. Probably going to wipe out a 29-yard gain, and it is
number 17
against the Panthers.
10-yard penalty. Replay. First down.
Funchess on the outside. Gets his arms around Khalil Mack. That's a good call.
First 5 possessions for the Panthers. Punt, touchdown. Thanks to the long run by Stewart, his longest of the season.
Well, they want to do one thing. They'd like to, if nothing else, run this clock down in this drive to keep the Raider offense from getting back on the field.
Penalty cost him 39 yards. Here's Newton trying to connect with Whitaker, and Newton now 3 for 10 passing. Let's go to JB in New York with the update.
All right, Jim. Patriots battle back from 10.
Brady evens the score. After fumbling the ball, he finds Malcolm Mitchell in the back of the end zone for the 4-yard touchdown score, all knotted up 10-all in the Meadowlands.
All right, back to Jim Nance, Phil Simms, and Tracy Wolfson.
All right, that coming on the heels of the rookie Robbie Anderson coughing up the football. The Jets had that 10-0 lead early. Thank you, JB and Bart. And there you see the Patriots at 8-2, and suddenly a surging Miami team at 7-4. In the AFC East. There's a 2nd and 20, and Newton decides to take off and able to just plow ahead for about 3. The rookie Ward the first to get to him. It'll be 3rd and long.
Tough play call there. Hard to move these Raider defensive linemen. I've talked about it. They got great size inside.
Got an injured player down on the field. That's Darrell Williams. Again, this offensive line already without Michael Orr. Michael Orr's season going to IR with all those post-concussion symptoms and just not showing the improvement. Khalil inactive, out with a shoulder today. And Ron Rivera is going to come out and check up on his second-year lineman. Williams needing assistance. Get to the sideline, and now he'll limp off on his own. Carolina this quarter, no first downs, 1 yard of offense. They've run 8 plays. They've brought in Chris Scott.
Well, Chris Scott had to come in last week and played some center when Khalil went out at the end of the game.
Last time Newton faced a third down snap from similar spot on the field. Irvin got to him for the sack. 3rd and 17. They seal the pocket for a while. Newton launches it on the go, looking for Benjamin, and it's broken up with no flag.
Well, good job of moving out of the pocket that time by Cam Newton, giving his team a chance and the wide receivers a chance. Khalil Mack trying to go all the way around to get the sack, and you get those opportunities when they throw so many deep throws.
By the way, Benjamin has not gotten up yet. Well, now he does. Now on his feet.
Sean Smith on Kelvin Benjamin today, one-on-one.
Might have had a hold of that arm a little early. Benjamin, that was his first time he was even targeted in this game. Now we do have a flag down, oddly enough, all the way down at the Raiders' 29-yard line.
That's somebody from the Carolina bench.
We're talking 54 yards from the line of scrimmage.
During the dead ball period, unsportsmanlike conduct. Offense, number 3, coming out of the team area and disrespectfully addressing an official. Half the distance to the goal, still forced down. This is the first unsportsmanlike penalty against number 3 with regard to disqualification from the game.
Derek Anderson.
Yep, yelling at the referees, I'm sure, down the field. Saw one of the officials. Didn't like the call, thought there should have been some pass interference.
Now Pilardi will punt from the end zone. He gets off his best boot of the day. Bouchard, low catch. Slips. Able to get out to the 44. Brought down by Colin Jones. 55-yard punt. Here's what happened. You see, yep, there he is. Derek Anderson. He thought that should have been a pass interference call.
Didn't seem to bother the judge there, so he must have kept it up after that. But frustration. Beautiful punt, though, to overcome it.
A lot of pressure on this Panthers team right now, facing, again, the most arduous task of 2 weeks on the road out west against the current 8-2 Raiders, with the Seattle Seahawks up there next on the schedule. They did win up there last year in a pivotal win on their way to taking the NFC Championship. Regular season win it was. Murray for 3. And tonight on CBS, one NCIS Los Angeles agent is being targeted, and the conspiracy puts the whole team in danger. It's a new NCIS Los Angeles tonight after 60 minutes, only CBS.
No Luke Kuechly for this defense today, but that last play, Thomas Davis, all over the place. Blitzing, making tackles.
74-1 yardage in this quarter. 2:48 to go. Raiders have one timeout. They are able to drag him down. That's Charles Johnson with his 3rd sack of the year.
Extra blocker in this time up top of your screen. Middle like Watson against Charles Johnson. So they have 6 offensive linemen in there. So that was a long way to go. Way outside by Charles Johnson. Today with Addison out, Mario Addison out, definitely their best edge rusher, Charles Johnson.
2nd sack of the game for Carolina. Third and 12. You don't have to snap it here before the 2-minute warning. Johnson saying, wait a minute, it wasn't me.
Loses on the fraction.
Boger disagrees.
Number 95.
Carr draws him off.
5-yard penalty.
He got the 5 yards back that he lost on the sack.
Good job using the snap count by Derek Carr.
And we reached the 2-minute warning.
Underused element of the game. Snap count by the quarterback.
They just reset the game clock to 2:01.
Well, the little things make quarterbacks happy. Yep, drew him off sides. He loves it. Derek Carr. You know, the one thing I noticed watching the Raiders this year, and brought it up to Derek Carr and to Bill Musgrave, the offensive coordinator, said, gosh, he looks bigger. You know, just you can see physically he's changed. He's turning into a man in his 3rd year. And Derek Carr said, yeah, he's in better shape, stronger, faster. Watching what he's eating shows in his play.
We've reached a 2-minute warning in the first half. You're watching the NFL on CBS. We're back with 2 minutes to go in the second quarter. Jim Nance, Bill Sims, Tracy Wolfson, Lance Barrow producing, Mike Arnold directing, and glad to be back with our crew that made its way from Detroit on Thanksgiving Day in the Lions-Vikings game that came down to the last play. Here's a 3rd and 7 launch, looking for Crabtree, and it's incomplete. Bradbury shadowed him perfectly. Got the Verizon halftime report coming up in just a short while. JB, along with Tony, Bart, Boomer, Coach Cowher, scores, highlights coming up on the Verizon halftime report.
Well, good coverage that time by Bradbury. Good stop once again by the Carolina defense, keeping them in the game, really. The goal line made them kick a field goal one drive. Tough situation there. Did not let the Raiders get in field goal position.
Here's King with the punt. It's a 47-yarder and a good one again. Brings on the fair catch by Ginn inside the 10. And now Carolina will have 146 and 2 timeouts. Cam Newton only 18 yards passing. He has not completed a throw in this quarter.
Well, listen, and this is not like what's got to be disarming to the Carolina Panthers. This Raider defense, 29th in the NFL. Now, yes, I know it's been getting better here the last few weeks. Not making quite as many mistakes, giving up those big plays, but still just a terrible first half for the Carolina offense.
Whitaker in the backfield, and he hands it off to him. And Fozzie takes it out to about the 13-yard line.
You know, it's been a rough first half. Mike Shula, Ron Rivera sitting over there. Let's do everything we can just to get out of here right now with this score, 17-7.
Some ways it feels like it should be bigger than a 10-point margin.
Yep. Carolina
with only 85 yards of offense and 47 coming on the one play, the run by Stewart. 2nd and 5.
Raiders using no timeouts have really changed the situation here.
Intercepted! Back for the touchdown! There is a flag down. Khalil Mack read the play. The screen.
Illegal formation. Offense. Number 7 is right down on the line of scrimmage. That penalty for climb.
Good play call, bad execution. Run a screen to keep the clock moving. They look like they might have something set up. Khalil Mack, what an athletic play in the last few weeks. He is sacking the quarterback, making plays everywhere.
What did you ask Mack yesterday about Cam Newton? You've met him, haven't you? He says, no, I haven't met him. Well, I don't know if they made any introductions to this point, but he has an interception off Cam Newton and a touchdown. His first career touchdown coming in his 42nd game.
Well, it's a terrific read by Khalil Mack. And it caught Cam Newton off guard. Here he comes on the outside. Sees the screen, pulls off. Trying to throw it to Fozzie Whitaker. Boy, that's a great jump into the end zone. But what a play. Cam Newton never thought that he could reach up there and make that play. Khalil Mack, great against the run. Now along with Bruce Irvin, gives them a lot of firepower where they can pressure the quarterback also when they need to.
And the silver and black faithful will say, boy, that brings back some memories of Jack Squirick back in 1983 with an interception right before the half on a similar play and a touchdown.
Yep. Trying to run the clock out. That's what they were trying to do with the Washington Redskins, and that's what Carolina was trying to do too. I have no problem with the call. Just a tremendous play by Khalil Mack.
Boy, what a rough first half for Carolina.
Well, what did Jack Del Rio say? Man, we got to get this defense rolling or going if we ever want to be serious contenders. Good start here today, without doubt.
That bounces right past Whitaker. And now 59 seconds for Carolina from the 25. Again, JB and all the crew. Boomer's contesting something right now, coming up on the Verizon halftime report.
Boomer's talking. What a shot.
You know, the last time not a Super Bowl, but a regular season MVP who was a quarterback, right, came back the next year and played at least 10 games and did not go to the postseason.
Who would that be?
Maybe that's why Boomer's upset.
Oh, shoot. Hey, Boomer won an MVP. That's saying a lot.
That's big. That's right. A lot of career yardage there. As James stops that right at the line. Whitaker, no gain.
If I was the Panthers, I'd just take a knee.
Remember, the Raiders deferred, so they'll be getting the third quarter kick.
That's right. You can feel the emotion. The Raiders they're just playing more emotional with more of a sense of urgency. They're the hot team. They got it going. They can feel it. The Panthers on this road trip, 4-6. Can't make a play to get themselves going.
And they run it for the second straight down. As Whitaker falls at the 30. That should close it out. Newton's already walking off the field, jogging to the locker room after completing 3 of 12 passes for 18 yards. And the interception, a killer, as Mack picks it off and takes it in for the touchdown here in the last minute of the first half.
Yep, Raiders might have had their best half on the defensive side all year long. They gave up one long run. Besides that, nothing there for the Carolina offense.
Other than that one run, 42 yards of offense by Carolina. Let's go to Tracy.
Thanks a lot, Jim. Coach, your defense has been challenged all season long. What can you say about how they stepped up here in this first half, ending with that pick 6?
Well, we have a lot of respect for this football team we're going against today, and The defense is playing well right now to start. We got to play well the last 30 minutes, but it's a good beginning to the day.
How about your offense and how you've been able to keep their defense so off balance?
Yeah, Derek continues to lead us. He's doing a great job. I think he's got receptions to 7 or 8 different guys, so he's spreading the ball around. Doing a great job leading us. We need to continue with that.
Appreciate it. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
And on the other side, the total offense numbers for the Panthers, 89 first half yards. It ties the fewest in the first half during the Cam Newton era. There it is, Mack to the end zone, 24-7 Raiders at the intermission, and you're watching the NFL on CBS. 24-7 at halftime. Carr 14 out of 19, 167 in that first half. Here's a look at the first half. Fresh start presented by Febreze. And Mack, what a dream that is. Find the end zone for the first time in your young career, and you happen to make the play right in front of the black hole. You get to go celebrate with your most rabid fans.
It's not like quite like the Lambeau Leap, but you still got to get up pretty good to get in that end zone into the black hole. The difference is once you jump in the black hole, you might not come out.
I think Mack can handle himself.
Yeah, I think yeah, that's right. Hey, these last 4 games, Khalil Mack has turned into a person now, or he really has been always, that you have to worry about where he lines up. And when you pay special attention to him, which Carolina has done today, then you got to worry about Bruce Irvin.
Florida State kicker, Jankowski, and the Seminole program, it's Richard. Through traffic out to about the 23-yard line. Now, second half, the Raiders up 17. They've won a lot of games by 1-score margin, 6 of their 8 wins. Chance here to make a statement win today at home. But you still got 2 quarters to play. Carolina's trying to find a way to get back into it.
Well, what can Carolina do on the offensive side to get back into this game is going to be interesting, because they're just not a great team that has a lot of schemes when it comes to throwing. It's about running the football. And the Raiders, on the defensive side, they get to play a different game because they have this big lead, and they can play more pass, take some chances rushing the passer. It's going to be tough for Carolina.
Quick throw over to Crabtree, got a gain of 9. And Tracy, what did you learn at halftime?
Well, you guys were just talking about it. What can Carolina do? Well, Ron Rivera telling me they need to take care of business on first and second down, both on the offensive side of the ball and the defensive side of the ball. You can hear the message outside the locker room. He said, it's everyone together, one play at a time. That's all we have left. Jim?
Boy, what a tough way to start a 2-game road trip if it doesn't get any better in this second half, and not going home in between games. Second one, and there's a little deception.
David Carr, or Derek Carr, hurt his
finger. Jeez, it's a Carolina recovery. Couldn't quite decipher at first glance what was going on there as Carr immediately started running away and toward the sideline.
Yep. Oh, his right hand. You can see the watch his right hand.
Boy, immediately.
He dislocated, I think, I hate to speculate, but it looked like his right ring finger was dislocated. Oh, yeah, it's definitely dislocated. Wow. That right hand is up. The one that's on the center, that's tough to do, so something went wrong with the timing.
And here is a little flip. It's again, blockers out there. And he speeds across and then slides accidentally out of bounds, but it's a big gain here and a big break to start the second half for Carolina.
Big break, and this is a good little key breaker. This is what you need to do on the offensive side.
Carr is running in the tunnel and heading to the locker room.
Matt McGloin, the backup from Penn State. Hand off to Stewart as the Panthers just picked up their first down.
since they scored a touchdown in the opening quarter.
Well, Jim, let's see if we can see anything. Looks like he pulled, oh yeah, his hand separated from the center. So Derek Carr pulled out just a little early. That's why his right hand was exposed.
Taking that snap from Rodney Hudson. And again, on his throwing hand.
Otherwise, you know, that hand would be pressed up there hard to hurt those fingers. I thought it was going to be his bottom hand, the left, that when he ran out there, but great replay to show it.
It'll be a big injury update. Everybody's anxious to hear what the engine behind this Raider offense, what the story is, as Stewart breaks through and then crashes down near the 3-yard line. You mentioned Matt McGloin in his 4th year out of Penn State. He's gotten a lot of action. We saw him even down in Dallas one year, start a game on Thanksgiving. He's played a lot of snaps, but not this year.
Nope.
Hasn't been out there on the field. 11 touchdowns on his career, 11 picks. About to take the controls next time the Raiders get the ball.
Well, they have great faith in him. I'll tell you that. I talked to Bill Musgrave over the week yesterday about Matt McGloin, so knows the offense well and has performed well when he's in.
1st and goal, running the option. Stewart takes the toss. It is met right away by Malcolm Smith.
Malcolm Smith, tremendous speed, can cover down the field. Watch 53. He's behind. Khalil Mack comes in there. So one's got the quarterback. Smith has the pitch man, and takes him down. Good job.
And then Reggie Nelson came over for added measure. 2nd and goal. Panthers trying to get a quick touchdown here in the 3rd quarter. Newton still has it. Flings it. Incomplete. That's got a flag out, though. Hayden going to be called for it. Trying to defend Funchess.
Pass interference. Defense, number 25. The ball replaced at the 1-yard line. 1st down.
1st and goal coming up for Carolina from the 1.
Nice move on the outside by Funchess. He gets fooled and does the right thing. Just go ahead and take him down. Otherwise, it's going to be a sure completion. And the play action, the threat of Cam Newton running the football near the goal line gives you a lot of situations like that, one-on-one outside.
Newton rushed from 3 yards out for the Carolina only touchdown. It's Stewart. And a flag on the far sideline as he stopped right at the line. And the Raiders jumped early or were lined up offside.
Offside. Defense, number 51. Lined up in the neutral zone.
Called on Bruce
Half the
Irvin.
distance to the goal. Still 1st down.
Here he is.
He is lined up
way offsides.
Way across the line.
It's that neutral zone infraction. That is truly offsides. And you always wonder why we don't see this more, Jim. The jump over the pile, it's getting tougher and tougher by the linebackers, but it's really the defensive linemen with the penetration.
We saw it by Stewart in the Super Bowl for a touchdown, and this time stays on the ground, and he is pushed back. Lost a few inches. Bates and Autry the first to get to him. Yeah, we saw that leap for a score not that far from here. Back on February 7th, and it was Stewart who easily broke the plane in that one for a touchdown.
Well, this Raider defensive line, they are, like I said, they're big up front. They got speed at linebacker, so these first couple of plays, the defensive line.
2nd and goal.
Won the job.
It's Dixon shifting to the left side. It's Stewart moving that way and powering across for the Carolina touchdown. Well, a big turn of events here. Irvin almost lined up offside again.
Mike Remmers, good kick out. Jonathan Stewart, knowing the situation, just ran with power into the end zone.
For Stewart, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Raiders are going to bring out McGee and bring Ward in for him. as Gano tries to trim it to a 10-point margin. Darius Latham, defensive lineman for the Raiders, who was shaken up in the first half. He's back out. In fact, he's out here for this extra point attempt, which was blocked. It was Autry, Danico Autry, and that's the third miss point after of the year by Gano. Got some hang time, didn't he? Stewart scores the touchdown for the Panthers as they take advantage of the turnover committed by the Raiders on the botched snap that has sent Carr to the locker room. Status unknown. They're going to bring out McGloin at the 25. Matt McGloin played a lot again in his career, but has not played this year. Carr in pain, taken to the locker room.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Southwest. Yes to low fares with nothing to hide. That's transparency. New York Life. With the right guidance, everyone can be good at life. And by Acura. Precision crafted performance.
Matt McGloin seeing action for the first time in 364 days. He started 6 games in his career. 4th year out of Penn State. And he hands it off again with Murray for about 4. The pinky finger, if you will, on the throwing hand of Derek Carr. And there is a look at it.
Look at the knuckle, the two down at the bottom. You can see the 2 marks on his hand. So I don't know how they got there, but it's definitely a big problem. And, you know, for a quarterback, holding the football, you know, they grip it 2 ways. Some guys do it with their thumb and their middle finger and other finger, and a lot of quarterbacks grip it with their thumb and their little finger. So that has a lot to do with how he comes back from it.
2nd and 6. Murray falls down 2 yards short of the first. And Tracy, what do you have?
Well, Jim, Derek Carr remains in the locker room. I was right there when he came running off, and he was screaming in pain, immediately surrounded by the athletic trainers. He continued to scream. It looked as though they were trying to maybe relocate that pinky, put it back into place. They were not having any success, which is why they took him into the locker room for further evaluation. As soon as he comes out, as soon as the Raiders give us something, I will certainly bring it to you.
3rd and 2. Everyone anxious to hear.
Well, they made a penalty here. They were moving. They were not set before the man went in motion.
And they got the penalty flag on the far side.
So Michael Crabtree went in motion.
Illegal shift, offense, number 10 and number 15.
And before
5
going
yard
motion,
penalty.
they're going to make sure everybody's set.
Replay, 3rd down.
So the Raider Nation, Phil, until the word gets out, absolutely holding its breath until it finds out if it's a dislocation or possibly a fracture.
Yep. Well, I'll say this. That penalty was big against the Raiders because they get that first down with Matt McGloin out there to give the team a little confidence. But now you got to emotionally get back in the game, and there's no doubt it's giving this Carolina defense and team some emotion knowing that Derek Carr is not back there anymore and getting that big break.
First offensive penalty on the Raiders in this game. The defense has been flagged 5 times. So McGloin.
Look at the blitz. They got everybody up there. Young quarterback.
3rd and 7. He gets wild ball in the air. They rule it incomplete.
Wow, really good disguise. He never saw Trey Boston coming from the outside. So they have Thomas Davis. Look at this. These 2 are in there, and then they get hit from the outside. Matt McGloin never saw it.
Boy, some hit by Boston. Been battling an ankle injury, but man, he took off full speed and blindsided.
Ron Rivera had a lot of good things to say about Trey Boston yesterday. Just talking, said how well he's playing.
The Carr, you hear the cheer. Carr is running back out from the tunnel. He's got a glove on his right hand. King.
Great kick.
Flag down at the line of scrimmage. Again, he is tackled down by the Raiders special teamer. Kauser just brought up to the roster, and look at Carr is going to warm up here.
During the kick, holding, receiving team, number 57. 10-yard penalty from the end of the kick. Carolina keeps the ball. Timeout.
What a promising sign here that Carr is back so soon, and he's out warming up again.
Yep, his body language is good too. He's smiling, got the glove on that right hand, and letting that ball go.
Carr just went over to his coach, Jack Del Rio, and you can see he was basically saying, I'm ready to go back in, give him the chance. Hand off to Stewart. You got a football with you. Tell us how, if you've got now, let's say it's a dislocated pinky on the throwing hand, how does it affect?
Well, he's got the glove. There's two ways people grip it. These two fingers on it, and you put your thumb and you lay the other two fingers down, or you could be where you put most of your pressure with these top two fingers where it's not a big a deal. But just watching him warm up, watching his body language, pretty good stuff though. He's pretty confident. It looks like he's going to be able to come back in here and throw the football the way he wants.
2nd and 6.
I was getting ready to send you out deep to see if you could still catch it.
Yeah, you still hold on to that football. Love the feel of the leather. Knocked down. That's Sean Smith on Benjamin, who's looking around for a flag. Tracy, down to you.
Well, Jim, as you see, he's throwing the ball right now. He's looked a few times at that glove, at that hand. But after that first series where he was just throwing on the sideline here, he came over to his quarterback's coach, Todd Downing, and he gave him 2 thumbs up. He is ready, it looks like, to go back in there.
Meanwhile, the other quarterback, the MVP of a year ago, Cam Newton, has missed on his last 7 passes. In real time, he has not had a completion in 110 minutes. There he goes deep down the field, and a beautiful throw. No one's going to catch again. He's going all the way for the touchdown. 88 yards. Cam Newton put it right on the money. And the Panthers with their 2nd touchdown of the quarter.
Well, we've been talking all day about how long they throw the football down the field. Here he is, Ted Ginn, just going to go right down the middle of the field. And Cam Newton once again just hangs in there. No pressure, leads him across the field is what you want to do, not up the field. And Ted Ginn, we saw one earlier. Maybe he dropped the deep pass down the left sideline earlier, but his speed is undeniable, and T.J. Carey just cannot keep up with it.
He's going to win every foot race in the league if he gets
what
a chance to get in the open. That's the longest completion for Cam Newton since his rookie season. 88 yards, and they're going for 2.
Yep, I would kick the extra point without even thinking. But Ron Rivera wants to get it within a field goal.
Trying to get back the extra point that was lost. And the last touchdown, and the pass is high. Trying to go that time to Corey Brown.
See, now if the other team kicks a field goal, you got to score, go for 2. Just too many scenarios come involved here, I think.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Walmart. Find gifts, groceries, and more this season. And by Collateral Beauty from New Line Cinema. In theaters December 16th.
A lot of drama in this 3rd quarter. Again, you just never can tell in this league. 2 touchdowns in 2 minutes and 50 seconds. 12 unanswered.
Oh, boy. Derek Carr hurting his pinky finger, gave him a touchdown. That beautiful throw by Cam Newton, Ted Ginn, was awesome.
Just after I had said he'd gone almost 2 hours. He said since his last completion.
I think he looked up here and said, take that, Jim Nance.
Yeah.
What do you think about me now?
I wasn't passing any judgment. I was just stating a fact.
That's right.
And boy, did he throw a beautiful ball out there. So they stand on their feet and welcome back Derek Carr.
I'll be interested to see. I think they'll probably run the offense out of the shotgun. Runs, of course, and the passes. I think if he puts that hand up under there, that would be a lot of pain with that football hitting his hand.
He did not take any practice snaps on the sideline directly from Rodney Hudson. When he emerged from the locker room, he's going to come out throwing. He's got the completion to his tight end, Walford.
How about that?
Come right out and sing it in there for 17.
Hey, man, it's arguably probably one of his best throws of the day. A couple seams he's thrown down the field. We saw one that led to on a big play, but beautiful throw to Walford right down the side.
And he's got now 9 different receivers today, with Walford getting his first grab. That's Cooper. Catch. They've all been short gainers for Cooper. 4 catches, 22 yards.
Let me say this too, Jim. Have you ever thrown a football with one of those gloves on? Have you ever tried it?
Tried to catch it with a glove on.
It's awesome to catch.
Yeah.
It's pretty easy, isn't it? And I'll tell you, it's the throw. I go out every once in a while in the summer, put a glove on, and just go, oh my gosh. It's tremendous. The grip on the football, you can just let it go and you can rotate it, spin it. We saw that on his first throw, 2 very accurate throws by Derek Carr.
2nd and 7. Bouchard is able to go through a tiny crease for about 4. Hey, tonight, can Alzheimer's be prevented? There's a groundbreaking study, and 60 Minutes will tell you about it tonight. Only CBS. That is something that many people will be overjoyed to see tonight and to hear about. 3rd and 2. Staying in the gun. And getting the first down to Crabtree.
There was a blitz. Good job by Derek Carr seeing the blitz come and keeps the football low, knowing that Kurt Coleman was reading the quarterback's eyes and made the break. But 3 throws by Derek Carr with the glove after dislocating that pinky finger, and they've all been right on target.
So a new set of downs. And he hands it off here to Richard. The Panthers are up for that play, including Kyle Love. A loss of 3.
Makes Derek Carr feel like he's back at Fresno State, where every play was out of the shotgun. They got rid of it quick. But, you know, what does this do to your offense? It limits running plays, no question, when you do it all out of the shotgun as a quarterback. So deception's hard to get those play action fakes to fool the defense. So that playbook is cut down a little bit for the Oakland Raiders.
So they send everybody wide for 2nd and 13. He's intercepted by Thomas Davis. Down the sideline and out of bounds inside the 30.
Number 58, Thomas Davis with the interception.
Thomas Davis on the other side just moves with Derek Carr. Here he is. He's going to drop back in zone, read the quarterback. Derek Carr never saw him. Just a zone defense where you read the quarterback's eyes. Thomas Davis talked about it earlier. Hey, blitzing, good in the run game. Great job reading the quarterback and getting the interception.
That's his 3rd interception of the season. He also fell on the fumble when Carr fumbled the snap. And Kelvin Benjamin comes off the field, slams down his helmet. You see Davis, the former Walter Payton Man of the Year winner. But the Panthers bring Benjamin out of the game. He threw a little tantrum, but they're 27 yards away from taking the lead after being down 17 at halftime. Here's Olsen. He's got a gain of 6 or 7.
Number 88, Trey Olsen from Cam Newton.
Well, after the interception, Derek Carr, a lot of problems when you talk about it. Now he's got to put his hand on the ground.
Yeah, that's a problem.
Well,
I don't know what's going on with Benjamin. But he let his feelings know. 2nd and 5. Picks up Stewart, able to take what looked like a busted play and pick up a first down.
Jonathan Stewart, the ball carrier, tackled by number 42, Carl Joseph.
well, what a turnaround, huh? Like you said, this is the NFL. Ron Rivera talked about his team to us yesterday. He goes, we're a team of near misses. Man, we missed the field goal, the other team makes it.
Yeah, well, the first week of the season.
Yep.
They had the chance to win at Denver. They missed. They've had 3 times when the other team made the kick at the end to win. And there are other stories like that, too. But trying to erase a 17-point halftime deficit in less than a quarter. Raiders defense, though, stuffs that one for no gain. Stewart stopped.
A good play that time by Bruce Irvin. Philly Brown came from wide receiver into the backfield. Give him the triple option look. Hand it to the running back. Keep it as a quarterback or pitch it to the wide receiver.
Second and 10 from the 16. Looking for options. Finds one. Again. Trying to get around the secondary and gets the first down yardage. Great piece of running, Ted Ginn.
Really just a beautiful job by Cam Newton. And look how long he stays in there. And then nobody sees Ted Ginn out in the flat. Once he catches it, man, can he turn it on quick.
First guy I had to beat was Sean Smith. He did. And then others missed him as well.
Cam Newton looked to his right, looked to his left, and all of a sudden at the very end, before he was going to maybe bail out of there, he saw Ted Ginn able to fall backwards and make the throw.
First and goal. Stewart up the middle and leans in. They say touchdown. And the Panthers have taken the lead.
Well, now since they missed the last 2-point conversion, they'll go for 2 again here probably.
He's got his elbow down, but I guess the ball had already broken the plane.
Looked like the ball did. Of course, that will be reviewed upstairs, all scoring plays.
Yeah, he crossed it. That's his 2nd touchdown of the quarter, and the 3rd touchdown by Carolina coming back out of the locker room.
Well, what Tracy Wolfs and Ron Rivera said, hey guys, there's only one thing to do. One play at a time. That's all you can do. You can't make it all up suddenly, but it changed quick on that fumbled snap.
This would pretty much qualify, though, as suddenly 3 touchdowns in 8 minutes and 47 seconds. And they're going to go for 2, as you see. The offense still huddled. Touchdown is confirmed. That was the delay.
They put the football on the right hash mark.
They've got Benjamin back out there in a slot to the left. Panthers trying to make it a 3-point margin. Pass dropped. Olsen. 1-point lead for Carolina. Thomas Davis set it up with the pick, and then Stewart took it home. Carolina has come back from 17 down to take the lead. Panthers on the prowl. 2nd snap of this half. Carr injured. Ball on the ground. Carolina recovers. Scores quickly.
Yep.
Then they hit big with Ginn, 88 yards. Get the pick, score again. 24-7 at halftime. Touchdown pass from Carr to Roberts, one of the highlights in that first half. The pick six for Mack, another one. But that's when everything changed right there. And the Raiders' last possession, Carr returns, throws the interception. Leads to Stewart. Getting across for the second time in the quarter.
Right. The fumble gave the Panthers some hope. They took advantage of it. And momentum has switched, is definitely on their side right now. And you can feel it. You can see it in their play.
Incomplete.
That was A.J. Klein, who was anticipating the play. He was there almost waiting for it. Again, Klein playing today with Luke Kuechly out with the concussion suffered from a week ago.
There's Luke Kuechly watching the game, and A.J. Klein stepped in last year for 3 or 4 games, played very well. So they're, yeah, they love to have their best defensive player, Luke Kuechly, there, but A.J. Klein, very good fill-in.
They won every game when Klein had the sub in for Kuechly last year. There's a pass off the hands of Roberts. Just like that, it's 3rd and 10 for Oakland.
Man, you think it's momentum, and you know I've heard people say there's really no such thing, and I don't know. I remember when I played, you know, just the feeling that you get, the positive thoughts that it just kind of spurs you along. And right now, the Oakland Raiders need a play to get them going.
Carr started this game 14 out of 15. He's now hit 4 of his last 11. Needs 10 yards for the first. Pass. Incomplete. Trying to connect with Cooper. And the Panthers take the Raiders offense off the field in 3 plays.
That was James Bradbury, I think, on the coverage. It was in front of the Raiders bench. But excellent coverage and nowhere really to throw the football.
Great play there by Worley.
Oh, it was Worley on the side?
It was, and Carr thought he saw something there, but it looked like a fine defensive play. And the fair catch at the 22 by Ginn. Halftime, you saw this coming, right? You saw Panthers leading going into the 4th.
It's really unbelievable.
Amazing.
You know, to be dominated the way they were in the first half, the Oakland Raiders. I mean, the Carolina Panthers, and everything going in the Raiders' favor, and then that dropped snap, that alone changed this game all around.
And now they got the football back with the 1-point lead. And Carr and that Raider offense will somehow have to get back in rhythm again.
Big plays. Cam Newton's long throw to Ted Ginn. The fumble snap by Derek Carr. Then the interception by Thomas Davis.
Still have about a minute and a half to go in the 3rd. Pass knocked down. That's Bruce Irvin. This Raiders defense could be soon getting another addition. That would be perhaps an X factor for them down the stretch, as Aldon Smith could be reinstated here in the next few days.
Well, it could be a team changer, no question. Aldon Smith, they got 2 good outside rushers, and Bruce Irvin, Khalil Mack, but Aldon Smith went in shape, ready to go, one of the best in the NFL. And we'll know that decision, I think, this week.
2nd and 10. High snap, toss, Whitaker. Pause for a moment, able to go up 5 or 6 on that play. Corey James made the tackle. James seeing all this action today because Perry Riley Jr. inactive with a hamstring.
Corey James, really good player, comes in, gets quite a few snaps every game. He's a very good coverage guy. In other words, he can cover the tight end or the running backs. Good job that time on the run.
Newton has 3 different receivers today. Ginn, Olsen, and Tolbert. Benjamin has been blank. So too has Funchess. He looks around here on 3rd and 5. And able to get it away. And did he get the second foot down? No, they say. Diving catch by Olsen. Ruled incomplete. There is a flag back near the line of scrimmage.
While the quarterback was still in the pocket. Holding. Defense, number 25.
And that is the 6th penalty of the game on the Raiders defense. And it's a big one.
DJ Hayden, number 25, top of the screen there he is against Funchess. Yep, gets that arm on the outside. Even though that really didn't cause Funchess to slip, it doesn't matter. He was in a bad position. Got to throw the flag.
Raiders, the most penalized team in the NFL. That one really cost him. Chance to perhaps get a little momentum back, but instead you set it down to the final 28 seconds of the 3rd. Autry as well. That'll probably close out the quarter.
Good job by Khalil Mack.
What a turnaround quarter it was. Now a player down on the field. And once again, it's a lineman, the center, Gradkowski, a backup normally, but getting the start today with Khalil out.
Oh, Khalil Mack, watch 52, rolls up the back of the legs of Gradkowski, and he said he's the backup. Last week we saw Chris Scott play a little center.
You can see Larson warming up while the medical staff is out on the field attending to Gradkowski. Tyler Larson is going to be shifted over. There's Ryan Khalil right there, the 10-year veteran who has been sidelined with a shoulder injury. They're starting to run really low on bodies to fill the 5 offensive line positions.
It's the same story we had 2 years ago. I remember reported we watched the Saints on Thursday night. They were trying to find, had so many offensive line injuries it was hard for them to put 5 out there.
So the Panthers do not have to take a snap here. They can just switch ends, head to the 4th after putting up 18 unanswered to take the lead heading to the final 15 minutes. You're watching the NFL on CBS. Well, the Panthers twice in franchise history came back from 17 points down to win. Now, they've come back from 17 down to lead as we head to the 4th. The last time they pulled it off, they were in the Bay Area, 2004 at the 49ers. They face a 2nd and 8 from their 36. Cam flushed out, chased, able to get it away, pulled down by Olsen.
What a catch.
Great job by Newton also to get away from a sack.
Yeah, I like this. I like when he just sees an opening, go ahead and drift into it and then look down the field. Khalil Mack once again on the pressure, but Cam Newton does not leave the pocket very often when he drops back to throw.
Boy, this field's giving a lot of people fits today, keeping their footing.
Yep.
Olsen recovered in time to get up and make a great grab, his 3rd of the game, his 599th of his career. Newton pass. Benjamin down.
Down. He slipped there. Trying to make a quick cut or a hard cut.
Now, it rained yesterday pretty much all day long. And now we've got another Raider down. It's DJ Hayden, who was seeing all this action today because David Amerson was inactive with a knee injury. DJ Hayden sits on the bench and unhappy. Helmet off. There's David Amerson again, scratched for this game today because of the knee. And now they got TJ Carey, who is playing the nickel. He's going to step up and assume the role of Hayden with Antonio Hamilton now playing nickel. 2nd and 10. And there is Funchess with a grab right in front of Hamilton, who just came into the game.
Beautiful throw by Cam Newton. Just caught it. One-on-one coverage, made a nice throw to the sideline. Or the Panthers. Downfield throwing. Cam Newton throws the football deep down the sideline. Those type of routes are long 40-yarders more than anybody in the NFL.
Well, he picked up 9. He's got 3rd and short. Looks more like 3rd and 2. Cam. He's going to go for the deep ball again. Benjamin jumps and holds on to it. What a grab. Touchdown, Carolina. His first catch of the game, and it's a big one. 44 yards and the touchdown.
Faked the little screen outside, Cam Newton did. And he gets one-on-one with Sean Smith. Just watch, a little fake, fakes a little screen outside, then takes his time and really waits to make sure the safety in the middle of the field is not going to run over there and help Sean Smith. That look down the middle of the field is what gave Benjamin that extra little beat to get in that position to make that catch.
I could see on that one replay, Ron Rivera in the background pointing down the field as Newton was in the pocket getting ready to air it out. Extra point, good. Margin is 8. Kelvin Benjamin silenced the first 3 quarters. Comes up with the touchdown.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by the all-new Chrysler Pacifica, imported from Detroit. Febreze, eliminate odors you've gone nose blind to and breathe happy. And by Domino's, order online at Domino's.com.
25-0 in the second half. Carolina, 4 touchdowns in 12 minutes and 7 seconds.
Yeah, a lot of stuff went on that play.
And Cam Newton, the 2nd time in his career, he has 2 touchdowns to go for an extra 80 yards in a game. But also last year in one of the games against Atlanta. Mentioned Rivera. You'll see him in the background here. He might have been looking over to Funchess' way.
He was. There was the throw because he saw that time Antonio Hamilton fall down. Here's the play down here. Watch the safety. Reggie Nelson, he turns and goes to the other side, I think, because he saw his defensive back fall down. And Cam Newton, man, those beautiful high throws.
Yeah, the receiver's able to run right underneath him as Crabtree makes a good catch of his own. And bumped out after 8. We've got an update. JP and Bart have the story of New York.
John Madden told us that 1 knee equals 2 feet, but...
And guess what? 1 butt equals 2 feet, as well as Quincy Enunwa gets the touchdown pass to give the Jets the lead. The Jets are up 17-16. We had the butt fumble. Now we have the butt down, JB.
5:21, Jim Nance, left in regulation.
Very good. Thank you, Bart. Maybe that'll end all the talk about the butt fumble all these years later. And this is still a 1-score game at 8 points. 12:50 to go as Murray is able to pick up the first down. You know, this is, you were a couple of times saying, why go for the 2? You know, you start adding up with your math originally, the first time they went for 2. Might be some point down the road in this game where you're going to say, man, maybe the Panthers should have just gone ahead and kicked the extra point.
Well, never, you know, my big theme always is don't look at that chart that they gave out. That thing doesn't tell you the time and how the game is going. And I say don't chase the points.
Here's Richard. And he's near another first. And a flag comes out, I believe, for face mask call, which would bring this football inside the 40 of the Panthers, if that's what it is.
Personal foul, grabbing the face mask. Defense, number 56. 15-yard penalty, automatic.
And it's on
first
Klein.
down.
56, A.J. Klein gets his hand up there.
39-yard lines where they mark it. Underneath he goes to Murray, and that's Klein with the wrap up at the 35. Just, well, let's give him 5 with that one.
A.J. Klein with the stop.
You see any difference with the velocity on these passes by Carr?
No, he came out and was, you know, feeling full of confidence. He said his first 3 throws were all on target with some power behind it. Then the interception, you know, that just kind of changes the way you think. And the Raiders got to get that momentum going and get the confidence that they can make the plays.
2nd and 5. It's Murray on the handoff. Murray picks up another couple. That's it. Another update. JB, Bart, back to you.
Phil, speaking of confidence, this ought to be it for Tampa.
Russell Wilson drops back trying to make a play to make a game of it, and Bradley McDougall seals the deal. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers will walk away with the victory. They're now 6-5, 1 game back of the Atlanta Falcons.
Back to Jim Nantz.
And that team has certainly turned things around.
3 in a row.
Yep. Seattle, meanwhile, will host Carolina next week. 3rd and 3.
What's up?
Patrick has the first down. Tackled down at the 25 by Bradbury.
Boy, good thing it was a quick pass. There was a blitzer that time coming free behind Derek Carr. Never saw it. Well, it's 94 Coney Ealy, but the blitzing linebacker Davis freed up Coney Ealy.
Toss. Panthers are there. Richard loses a yard. To think of how important this game is, you've got Kansas City at Denver tonight, both at 7-3. Entered the weekend 1 game behind Oakland. Then you talk about the Panthers' chances. This is really desperate times for them, as within their own division, you already had Atlanta with a win today to go to 7-4. Tampa, you just saw, went to 6-5.
We're good.
2nd and 11.
Monday now. Blue 80. What's up?
He's got the time. He's going for Crabtree. And it's over the head of everybody. Bradbury on the coverage.
Coverage on the play by number 24, J.J. Bradbury.
Yeah, you take a look at the NFC South. And right now, the Panthers have 3 teams above them, with the Saints victory today against the Rams.
Top 3, you said. All of them won today.
That's right. 3rd and 11. It's tight end for the first down. Walford at the 12.
Jim, that answers your question. How's that little finger doing? Walford, 88, just going to run down and break it out. And he throws it in there with enough speed before Bradbury can get in there. The motion, can't tell a difference. The football came out clean, came out with power, right on target.
Three receivers in tight on the left side. Cooper to the right. Cooper's been contained so far. As Carr goes to the end zone, and it is caught for the touchdown. Wolford comes down with it.
A.J. Klein trying to cover Wolford. That's where Kuechly would be covering, which we've seen him do many times. The tight end down the middle. Klein was there. Very good throw. Excellent catch. Watch 88. 56 in the middle of your screen. Little back shoulder throw. Of course, they're going to go for 2. Down 2 points here.
Yeah, look at this.
Wow, what a catch.
It's like Raymond Chester of yesteryear. Going for 2 here. Try to tie the game.
Big third down throw by Derek Carr to keep this drive alive. Excellent throw to Wolford for the touchdown.
Completed 5 out of 6 on the drive. Now to tie the game. Rolling out. To tie the game at 32. Seth Roberts.
Great decision on the 2-point throw. Excellent throw also.
There's the touchdown to Wolford. And then Roberts withstood the hit and held on to tie it. Derek Carr just drove his team 75 yards in 10 plays. Touchdown throw to Wolford. 2-point throw to Roberts. They're 4 out of 5 on the year now when going for 2. Was the one week 1 to go for the win instead of sending the game to overtime in New Orleans. Kind of set the pace for this season. Meanwhile, the Panthers 0 for 2 today going for 2.
Yep. Chase those points early. Might regret it as this game goes on.
Janikowski kicks it with 8.5 remaining. There'll be a run back here from the yard out. Whitaker. Stop short of the 20. Some of the early headlines today, well, the Giants won again. And Cleveland remains winless. Meanwhile, Atlanta over Arizona. First place in the division. The NFC South and the Ravens probably pretty much put an end to the Bengals season with their victory today. Ravens go to 6-5 and join the Steelers at the top of the AFC North. Pass with a lot of heat on it. Complete to Ted Ginn right in front of Hamilton. Gains 11.
2-point conversion. Here's Crabtree going out. Watch Bradbury. He gets him. Man or stays there and waits for him. And then Roberts hooks it up. This play, you always throw it to the guy running to the flat. Carolina is all over, but what a decision by Derek Carr. And what a throw. Thinking quickly, doing the right thing, and tying this game up.
Running on first down. Stewart takes a few players with him for about 3. So Beckham with a couple of touchdowns. Ryan leads the Falcons. Tucker had 4 field goals today, 3 of them from 50 plus. And how about the Dolphins now at 7-4?
Boy, just think of what we saw. We saw the Dolphins on a Thursday night game in Cincinnati. Their offensive line all beat up. How they've recovered, and they are hot.
Snap coming again from Tyler Larson. And the sub in for Brett Kowski, and that is caught with a flag out. That is Olsen in front of T.J. Carey. And a penalty is going to bring this back.
10-yard penalty. Replay. Second down.
.68 against Danico Autry. Norwell got his arm around, got beat inside.
Been some lean years for this franchise, but what a season it's been, and they are rocking like they haven't for almost 10 years at Oakland Alameda County Coliseum. 2nd and 17 with a shovel pass, and Tolbert is brought to a halt at the 31 by Jihad Ward. He got 7 yards back.
Little shovel pass, nice safe play, trying to pick up a few yards to make this 3rd down. A little easier at 3rd and 10. Pass protection, Cam Newton getting time in the 2nd half and has made quite a few big throws.
Threw for only 18 yards in the 1st half, a career low. He's got 187 in the 2nd half. He needs 10 here. 3rd and 10. And Benjamin may have not run a deep enough route. He stopped a foot short.
Top of the screen, Kelvin Benjamin against Sean Smith. That football's right on the yard marker. I thought Ron Rivera would go for it here. I really did.
He's brought out Pilardi. Benjamin really not aware of where he needed to get there for the 1st down.
Yep. And Ron Rivera going. Game is tied.
Ozzie Whitaker is the up back here as they snap it back deep. Pilardi sends it back to the Raiders. This Rashad. Light fair catches, and he is brought down at the 13. Carr and the Raiders coming back out.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Subway. Try the classic Reuben, stacked with corned beef, limited time only. And by Garmin Fitness. Let's beat yesterday.
5 minutes to go with the game knotted at 32.
Still has an interesting run with the football.
And he's going to lose a yard or two. Pushed out by Bradbury.
Well, trying to catch him by surprise in shotgun formations. Before the injury, 54% of the time. And since he hurt that little pinky finger, it's 100% of the plays from the shotgun. And
actually lost 4 with that. And since he's come back from the injury, 8 of 13, a touchdown and the interception.
you know that play, he kept the ball trying to catch the defense by surprise. They were ready for it.
2nd and 14. And that's Roberts. And Davis is all over it. And back in the studio, JB and Bart are all over it too.
Patriots doing what they do.
Tom Brady's going to find Malcolm Mitchell for the 8-yard touchdown score. The 2-point conversion was no good. Right now, Fitzpatrick had a fumble. They're trying to see, and I think it's New England's ball.
1:43 left in regulation, Jim. We'll keep you abreast.
All right, guys, so that's been a tight one throughout. 3rd and 9 here.
Larry!
Park, back to throw, looking for the deep ball. Crabtree, the targets, and he made the catch on his back. He had the middle linebacker on him in coverage. Klein
caught him in a coverage. They faked the blitz, played behind it, and you get A.J. Klein.
Defense, number 56. They put it against the Klein.
Call on Klein.
The play.
It will hold up as a 49-yard throw, giving Carr an even 300 for the game.
Look how long he stood in there. Star Lotulelei is there, but right down the middle of the field. There goes Crabtree. And A.J. Klein is expecting, hey, somewhere along the line, this deep down the field, where is a safety to help me out?
Klein actually got the face mask, and it ended up ripping the helmet off. No flag for that.
I mean, his coverage for what he was asked to do was outstanding against Crabtree.
And that is Murray. Give him 5. The NFL continues tonight on NBC. Again, AFC West key game. Chiefs against the Broncos tomorrow night. Green Bay at Philadelphia on Monday night on ESPN. And then Thursday night, Dallas at Minnesota. Cam looking on saying, wait a minute, all this way we fought back, is it all for naught? What's going to happen here? 2nd and 5. Pass back to Crabtree. Turn around and 2 feet down. Crabtree coming up big here today. That puts him over 100 with his 8th catch.
Well, this has got to give the Raiders a lot of, first off, he pushed off. Second one in, you can see the turf come up. But this will put the rest. If you have any questions, can Derek Carr throw with that pinky finger in his glove? I'd say the answer is yes.
Well,
a couple outstanding throws we've seen here the last 2 drives.
He has already this season executed 4 fourth-quarter comebacks. He's the #1 rated passer in the final quarter in the league this year. Gives it to Murray. Powers to the 10.
Hard running. Great job by Murray. Puts him in good position. And of course, the clock. Carolina still has the 2-minute warning and 3 timeouts to go. And Derek Carr is going to keep his team in the huddle to make sure they use as much time as possible.
That's right. Carr on this drive. 3 for 3 for 70 yards. Not much there. And fortunate with the good effort to be able to pick up a yard and a half. Murray. Timeout called by the Panthers.
The play that set all this up, Jim, down the middle. Here goes Crabtree. Here's Klein. And watch the safeties. Here's the safety back here. I really, as I watch it, I've watched a lot of football, and that's a tough spot to put your linebacker in. Somewhere somebody made a mistake. Hard to pick out who did it.
It's going to be a 3rd down snap coming up here. I'd like to welcome those of you just joining us off the New England and Jets game. What a wild one we've had here. Jim Mansfield, Sims, Tracy Wolfson. 2:29 to go. Tied at 32 and 3rd and a long yard for the Raiders. First down. Murray picks it up. And if you're just joining us, this was a 17-point lead for the Raiders at the intermission. Then Carr got hurt. Dislocated, appeared, pinky on his throwing hand. Missed a series. During all that time, the Panthers were starting their comeback, including later on an 88-yard touchdown pass from Cam Newton to Ginn. And then the Raiders were suddenly down 8, only to come back and tie it with a touchdown and a 2. So the drive continues, 1st and goal. 2-minute warning, a drive that began back at their own 13. Here's some of the numbers as we played 58 minutes here. And the Raiders have it, 1st and goal to go. Tied at 32. They give it to Murray, and he runs right into the arms. K'Wan Short, an immediate timeout by Carolina, leaving them with 1.
So I took it. You know, you sit there, if you're a Carolina fan, you might be going, let them score, give us more time in the timeouts. No, they're doing the right thing with 2 timeouts. That took 5 seconds. Let's say they run it again. You call a timeout, it's a minute 50 to go. You're out of timeouts. That would take it down to a minute 10, the 40-second clock, a few other seconds. So it would give Cam Newton, best case scenario, around 1 minute or 55 seconds to get in position to kick a game-tying field goal if that's what happens here.
It's been a magnificent second half for Cam Newton. And how he wants to get his hands on the football one more time. Next week, regional action. The main game, Houston at Lambeau Field. Check your local listings. All begins noon Eastern. NFL Today. Presented by Southwest Airlines.
Now, Jim Nance, you agree with that whole scenario?
I do.
There?
If you're down to 1 timeout,
I have to let them score.
And again, they came out of the 2-minute warning. The Panthers had 2. They've just used 1. Yep. You got to play it out. You're right. 2nd and goal. He's a goal up top. He's looking Crabtree's way. Now looking for other options. And it is incomplete. That was Andre Holmes. And just 151 still to go. They decided to go ahead and go up top.
Yeah, I think they were really trying to throw a little screen inside, but it was not there. And then he had to come off of it to his left side. So he wanted to throw it to Murray. A little screen, nice safe play. Even if you complete it, they tackle you, the clock keeps moving. But really good job by Carolina being ready for it. We saw the screen inside earlier in the game to Olawale.
3rd and goal.
Complete.
There was Klein on the coverage. Boy, no flag, and Janikowski is coming onto the field.
He had what he wanted, just threw it too quick, and A.J. Klein, they are putting him in some tough spots. It's a little stop and a move. Oh, and Crabtree just kind of stumbles. But, man, 3 times today we've seen this defense. That's asking a lot of A.J. Klein to cover receivers in the middle of the field one-on-one.
And boy, how happy did the Panthers have to be. They didn't run it on 2nd down and force them to take their last time out. They still have 1:47 to go. Now for the lead from 23 yards. Janikowski nails it. 35-32 Oakland.
You know, the play calling, once they threw it on 2nd down, it was incomplete. They were forced to throw it on 3rd to try to score, to go up. But the 2nd down play, not going to disagree with it. It was a little screen. It's safe. Could have kept the clock moving if it didn't score. So, you know, so you can second guess those play calls, but I'm not. But to go back to A.J. Klein, Jim, all those situations are putting him in. That would be Luke Kuechly usually.
And tonight on CBS 60 Minutes with its story on the groundbreaking study on Alzheimer's. Then all new episodes of NCIS Los Angeles, Madam Secretary, and Elementary, only CBS. So the Raiders surrender a 17-point halftime lead, go down 8 after 25 unanswered by Carolina. And then the Raiders peel off 11 unanswered to take the 3-point lead. Janikowski's just converted his 200th all-time field goal at home.
Well, Jack Del Rio knows about his offense, still has question marks about his defense. And this is where you got an offense in a certain situation, and you got to have some closers on the defensive side to get it done.
Kicks in this direction have not gone all that deep into town. This one does, though. However, beautifully done. Janikowski earning the touchback.
In this second half, Cam Newton has been throwing the football absolutely magnificently. He has made some big-time throws, been right on the money.
Well, one of the key things he wanted to say to us Friday night when the Panthers got in, people don't understand a team changes its identity every year. He wasn't complaining, he just says it's different.
Yes.
Well, last year, one of the things that really was trademark of the team that went 15-1, they pulled out games like this. That has not been the case this year.
Yep.
All of those near misses that you referred to in the words of Ron Rivera. Could that change here today? First down. Complete. And Olsen has hold of it to the 45.
What a route by Greg Olsen. He goes down the field, goes outside, and then breaks it back in. Watch this move outside, stop. Cam Newton was looking at him the whole way. Great drive starter right there. Good design.
Olsen's 600th career catch. Goes to Marcus. And they're picking up huge chunks to try to get into range here at the very least for a Gano tying field goal, but with designs on something much bigger than that with 1:15 to go.
Hey, we've watched it. Cam Newton has got it going, throwing the football now. So if you're going to play soft coverage and you think you're going to break on the ball and get there before he throws a fastball in there, it's not going to work.
1:15 to go with a timeout as well. Panthers go down the sideline and thrown away as Mack was applying pressure.
Khalil Mack gets some pressure, maybe saves a big completion. Oh, what a move that time. Cam Newton, great job of seeing it, knowing it's coming, and just gets rid of it, throws it out of bounds. Boy, Khalil Mack can overpower you, run around you, and trick you. That was a great spin move.
And for those just joining us, Mack had a pick six right before halftime. 2nd and 10. Chase is on, and Newton forced to just throw it away. It was Bruce Irvin along with Mack busting up the play.
Bruce Irvin this way, Mack on the other side. Boy, Khalil Mack, that is an awesome job of staying outside. Bruce Irvin's chasing Cam Newton. So Cam Newton has no choice but to throw it out of bounds.
Well, they've got 2 downs to pick up 10 yards. And Newton takes the final timeout for Carolina. Not where you wanted to use your final timeout, but not happy with what he saw.
Yeah, but it's the right thing to do. The clock was running down. They were having trouble getting the formation they wanted. And really all Ron Rivera is looking for here, give us a good field goal try.
Ron Rivera, who grew up, again, a little more than 100 miles south of here, down in the Monterey area. And he was a Raider fan. Jim Plunkett was his hero.
Wow.
He's got family members who are Raider diehards, come to many of the home games. He came as a young boy, got John Madden's autograph at the age of 16.
Well, what we're seeing here in this last drive, the Raiders do not have to blitz because they have 2 terrific outside pass rushers, Khalil Mack and Irvin, so they can put everybody else in pass coverage.
Here's a 3rd and 10 with time. Middle of the field, and off the hands of Greg Olsen.
Aggressive throw, 88. Greg Olsen going right down the middle of the field. A little bumping, might have been just enough where he couldn't get both hands clearly on the football. Gets his fingertips on it, but that would have been an unbelievable catch.
4th and 10, it would have to be a 62-yard field goal, just too far back. Even though Gano has a career long of 59, they're going to go for it. 4th and 10. Game on the line. Newton in trouble, and the Raiders end it. It was Mack with the strip sack.
This is what you have when you have outside pass rushers like Khalil Mack and Bruce Irvin. Obvious, desperate passing situations. they can finish the game. Khalil Mack on this side. Here he comes. Just overpowered Trey Turner.
This is very similar to what we saw not that far from here in Super Bowl 50 when it was Von Miller who was coming off that same edge, wreaking havoc on Newton. Carr with the glove on one hand, wedding ring on the other, and the Raiders about to win their 5th in a row.
Well, you talk about it, this will give you confidence, gives you faith. Your quarterback gets hurt, the game turns around, and they found a way to win it. And Khalil Mack was double teamed on that play and still got in there and stripped Cam Newton.
Well, the Raiders to go to 9-2, to stay in that current first position in the AFC. Same record as the Patriots, have a strength of schedule advantage of the moment. And this old stadium has been around for a while. It still has some old magic in it. It's the 50th year of the Oakland Coliseum. And it's come back to life with these young Raiders. They've got their first winning season since 2002 with the victory today.
Khalil Mack, Fozzie Whitaker there to double team him, can't make the block, and they got a finisher on the defensive side.
35-32, Oakland victory. CBS tonight, 60 Minutes, then all new NCIS Los Angeles, Madam Secretary, and Elementary. For Phil and Tracy, Jim Nance saying so long from Oakland. You've been watching the NFL on CBS.